In 2015, in the quiet landscapes of Japan, paleontologists unearthed an octopus fossil that would challenge everything we thought we knew about the history of intelligence. This specimen, buried deep within the geological layers of the Cretaceous period, was a giant, measuring twice the size of any modern squid. But size was not the most shocking discovery. When scientists successfully reconstructed the complete brain of this ancient creature, a heavy silence fell over the laboratory. They found that its neuron count reached approximately 50 billion, a number nearly equivalent to that of a human being. This was a creature that existed long before the rise of man, yet it possessed the biological hardware for complex thought. Even more terrifying were the fossils discovered in Germany, which revealed eyes with a diameter of 30 centimeters. The light spectrum this creature could perceive was 4 times wider than ours. To these beings, the world was a canvas of colors and details we cannot even imagine. It is a haunting thought. Humans may forever be unable to visualize the conceptual space in which these creatures functioned. By 2019, the mystery deepened. Scientists extracted a specific pigment from the fossilized ink sacs of these cephalopods. This pigment had previously been observed in only one place: the specialized cells that modern octopuses use to change their skin color for communication. We are faced with a chilling reality: a species with a brain comparable to a human's, capable of perceiving high dimensions of information, and using a language of shifting colors, ruled the Earth for 200 million years. And then, they vanished, as if someone had simply pressed a delete button on their existence. But this discovery is merely the tip of an iceberg hidden in the dark. If you find this frightening, you have yet to see the true nightmare. In the 500 million year history of Earth's oceans, there were creatures even more irrational and overwhelming. Our story truly begins 500 million years ago, in an ocean that looked nothing like the one we know today. The Cambrian seabed was a place of total darkness, without fish, without whales, and without the evolution of bone. Yet, in those deadly depths, a predator was silently rising. Approximately 450 million years ago, during the Ordovician period, a massive biological mutation occurred. In 1996, Canadian paleontologists excavating shale layers in the Rocky Mountains found something that left them speechless: a cone-shaped fossil 9 meters long. At the end of this fossil were over 10 circular indentations, the unmistakable marks of powerful suction cups. This was the Endocerus. It was a straight-shelled nautiloid that, in its adult form, reached the length of a modern bus and weighed over a ton. It was the equivalent of stuffing a full-grown elephant into the deep ocean. But it wasn't just the size that was terrifying. It was the way it hunted. Through CT scans of the fossils, researchers discovered that the Endocerus functioned like a prehistoric submarine, controlling its buoyancy and depth with extreme precision. Its tentacles, each as thick as a human waist, were covered in backward-facing hooks and venomous spines. Paleontologists speculate that this creature would bury itself in the seafloor mud, leaving only its tentacles exposed like a trap. When prey swam past, it would strike at a speed of 15 meters per second, crushing shells and tearing flesh with a beak that could snap through solid bone. What truly haunts researchers, however, is the neurological complexity found in a 2003 study by the Max Planck Institute. The number of nerve ganglions in the Endocerus far exceeded the needs of simple survival. From a biological standpoint, a predator that only needs to eat and reproduce does not require such a highly developed nervous system. What were they doing with all that brain power? No one knows. Perhaps even more bizarre is their disappearance, before the first mass extinction event wiped out 85% of marine life. These apex predators, once distributed across the globe, began to vanish mysteriously. It was as if They sensed the coming disaster and collectively chose to exit the stage of history. For 200 million years after they vanished, the oceans remained strangely empty of giant cephalopods. It wasn't until the Mesozoic era that these titans returned. 250 million years ago, a new king emerged, the Ammonite. In 1895, a worker in a German quarry found a massive spiral fossil. After years of reconstruction, scientists realized that if this shell were complete, its diameter would reach 3.5 meters. If uncurled, it would stretch over 18 meters, the height of a 6-story building. This was the Prehistoric, the largest shelled cephalopod ever discovered. Weighing more than 3 great white sharks combined, the Prehistoric was protected by a thick calcium shell that was nearly impenetrable. But again, it was the eyes that shocked the world. Well-preserved fossils showed eye sockets exceeding 30 centimeters in diameter. In the pitch-black world of the deep sea, only eyes of this size could capture the faint bioluminescent flickers of prey. Imagine a spiral monster the size of a building rising from the abyss, with 10 tentacles, each thicker than your arm, reaching out from a fortress of bone. And the Prehistoric was not alone. In the prehistoric North American inland sea, there were other giants like the Tusotathus and the Octopuses. These were the giant squids of their time, lacking shells but possessing terrifying speed and aggression. Fossil evidence shows their tentacles were covered in sharp claws, and one specimen even contained the remains of a seabird in its stomach, proving these monsters could leap from the water to snatch prey from the air, a feat that even modern killer whales rarely achieve. 66 million years ago, the era of giants ended when an asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula. The dinosaurs perished, and the giant-shelled cephalopods vanished with them. Yet, the shell-less octopuses and squid survived. Their secret was their reproductive strategy. While the giants laid few eggs and took years to mature, the smaller cephalopods bred quickly and in vast numbers, allowing them to outlast the collapse of the marine food chain. But the giant gene never truly died. Modern giant squids can still reach lengths of 13 meters, proving that the potential for a colossal growth is still waiting in their DNA. In 2019, Japanese deep-sea probes at 7,000 meters in the Japan Trench captured images of massive shadows moving with incredible speed, shadows far larger than any known creature. Fossils found in that same area, dated to less than 10,000 years ago, suggest creatures exceeding 20 meters in length once swam there. This means when human civilization was just beginning, monsters larger than any prehistoric legend were still lurking in the dark. Where are they now? Some scientists believe they never left. They may have simply retreated into the deepest trenches, such as the Mariana Trench, to depths where humans can never reach. Cephalopods are masters of pressure. They have no bones and can reshape their bodies at will. Modern octopuses can solve puzzles, use tools, and even recognize human faces. They have 3 hearts, 9 brains, and tentacles that can think independently. If a small octopus can do this, imagine the intelligence of a 20-meter titan from the prehistoric past. In 2018, genetic sequencing of cephalopods revealed a level of complexity nearly equal to that of humans. They possess an immense evolutionary potential. If that asteroid had never struck the Earth, the dominant civilization today might not have been human. It might have been a highly intelligent, underwater society. We are only here because we climbed out of the ruins they left behind. So, the next time you look at the ocean, remember that we are separated from a world of underwater monsters and ancient geniuses by nothing more than a single lucky rock that fell from the sky.